What is up everyone, Fred here from Seals Gaming, back with another video, and today it's all about Wizard of Legend. Wizard of Legend is the newest release from Contingent 99 and is currently available on Steam for 15.99 euros. And as always, I will leave a link in the description below in case you want to check it out after this video. In Wizard of Legend, you play as a wizard trying to complete the Chaos Trials, and in order to do this, you must first defeat the 3 Grandmasters in their respective arenas. There's the Furnaces, which are a broiling fire dungeon filled with fire monsters, and at the end Flame Empress Seal, who will come at you with fire-infused martial arts. The Frost Realm is filled with icicles as sharp as daggers and Frost Knights who will freeze you solid with one hit, and awaiting you with her cold embrace is Frost Queen Freya, who will fire barrages of ice at you while you're frantically trying to dodge everything. Arriving at the Earth Realm, you're met by wizards who have mastered the element of Earth, throwing giant rocks at you, and rogues trying to poison you with arrows and traps, and Earthlord Atlas is waiting at the end to pummel you with various weapons made of rocks. And as the grand finale, you will have to face off against Master Sura, who is just like a jack of all trades. Wizard of Legend is a dungeon runner in which each time you die you start over. The levels are randomly generated and build up into 3 stages before the grand finale. Each time you start, you'll get thrown into one of the 3 arenas randomly, and you'll then have to complete 2 levels and 1 boss 3 times in order to reach the final level. In one game you might have Earth first and Frost last, and in another you might have Frost first and Fire last. And depending on which level the boss is on, the harder it gets. A level 3 Flame Empress has more abilities than a level 1. While fighting through the levels, you'll obtain a currency called Chaos Gems, which you can use for buying different spells, relics and cloaks outside of the trials. You'll also obtain coins which you can use in the different vendors stationed throughout the levels. These vendors can sell you anything from a health potion or an enhanced version of your spell to a cursed artifact that might help you or hurt your cause. But remember that these artifacts and spells are temporary and will disappear when you leave the dungeon. The permanent ones you buy in the castle. I quite like the way Wizard of Legend is structured with the fire, earth and frost elements. It reminds me a lot of a combination of Pokemon with its different gyms and Magicka, and the game really succeeds in capturing the battle wizard theme. A major part of Wizard of Legend is its combat. And the reason I mentioned Magicka before is that Wizard of Legend has so many different spells you can use in combination with each other. When you've accumulated enough Chaos Gems, you can buy new spells in the castle before you enter the trials. And you have 4 slots for spells as a total. Basics, which are your auto attacks that have no cooldown. Dash, which is your way of dodging in combat. Standard Arcana, which is the spell you use in your combo. And your Signature Arcana. This might look as a normal arcana, but when you build up enough energy through your combos, you'll be able to unleash this arcana with a massive power boost. All of these spells are in different elemental groups, which are fire, air, earth, water, and lightning. And the amount of possible combinations you can do with these are just awesome. For example, you can have a tracer barrage of fire with a row of swords made of rock, or a giant bubble of water combined with a boomerang of wind. On top of spells, you can also buy different relics and cloaks which does different things. You might buy a cloak which grants you more armor and combine that with a relic that increases max health. Or you might buy a cloak which increases your critical chance and combine it with a relic that heals you when you critically hit an enemy. All of these combinations are for you to discover, and the game encourages you to explore them. Personally, I am in love with the combat in this game. It is fast paced and fluent, and the amount of combinations you can try out ensures that it never gets stale or dull. I love doing an awesome combo and just wrecking my enemies, and the dashing around really helps make the combat intense and fun. Now, Normally, I get concerned when I hear the word dungeon runner, because many dungeon runners do not, in my opinion, work around the issues of repetitiveness in a proper manner. Wizard of Legend, however, manages to somewhat do this. The fact that you do not only get a randomly generated dungeon every time you start a new game, but also that the order of the bosses varies makes Wizard of Legend a bit less repetitive than other dungeon runners, but it still has a point where it stalls a bit. It is relatively quick to gather enough chaos gems to buy all spells, cloaks and relics in the game, and after this, there's not really a reason to keep playing in my opinion. And furthermore, the game does lack a bit of content, but this does not change the fact that you can get at least 20 hours of intense and fun gameplay out of Wizard of Legend. And sitting at a price of 15.99 euros, I think that is a good deal. Moreover, there will also be updates for the game adding more content in the future. Now on the graphical side, I know my opinion might be a bit controversial, but normally I'm not a huge fan of pixelated graphics like for example in Minecraft. Yes, I know, he doesn't like Minecraft, he's crazy. But in Wizard of Legend it fits perfectly in my opinion. Wizard of Legend is paying homage to the old days of gaming, and the graphics take me back to my childhood playing Zelda, Mario and Mega Man. On top of that, it has a super cool soundtrack to back it up, and the music really underlines the intense combat. If you know me, you know that I'm not the biggest fan of dungeon runners, but Wizard of Legend has reopened my eyes to how much fun a game in this genre can be. The levels and enemies are cool and designed to complement the fluent, fast-paced and fun combat. I love the massive amount of different spells and items you can combine, and I'm looking forward to when the game gets more content. Wizard of Legend is a great addition to the dungeon runner genre, and the developers can be proud of their game, and we here at Seals Gaming give Wizard of Legend 8 out of 10. As a final note, I would like to add that Wizard of Legend is available for Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One and PC. And it's even local multiplayer, which means you can play it with a friend, so you have no excuse for not picking up this game if you're a huge fan of the dungeon runner genre. If you enjoyed this video, don't hesitate to leave a like and a comment below, or even better, if you enjoy our content, hit that big red subscribe button. Thank you very much for watching.